Hi there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and in today's video I want to show you how to use this Days to Remember stamp set. When I saw this in the new annual catalog, I wasn't sure just how it would work, and so I had to get it. Let's try to get the glare off of there. There we go. And so I've played with it quite a bit, and I think I get it now, and I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I have a piece of basic white here, and to be honest with you, I don't know how long it is, but I know that it's 2 3/4 inches wide, because each month in our stamp is about 2 3/4 inches wide. And I've also learned that the stamp set, or I'm sorry, the ink pads, not the stamp set, the ink pads are about a month wide, and I'll show you that in just a second. So this is the stamp, looks like this, that we're going to use. Make sure if you buy the stamp set that you have a block big enough. I'm using an I block because it's a big stamp, and you need a block that can, I guess you'll say, host or hold the whole thing. I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper that's dark. I think it might be easier to see. And like I said, I have my piece of basic white that is 2 3/4 inches wide. Okay, and then I'm going to take, and I have a calendar here, so I know, because we're going to do the month of May. Let me move some stuff out of the way here. The month of May. So let me make sure I have May up. I do. And I know that the month of May, the Saturdays are the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. So I'm going to start by lining up the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th. I can see it's right here on my stamp. So I'm going to ink those up, and you can see right here that that 1 month right there fits perfect on the ink pad. Okay, now I also want to make sure that in May there's 31 days, so I have all my days for the whole month on that are inked up one more time just to be sure. Okay, and then I'm going to just take it down here to the bottom of my paper. Try not to get my head in the video. I'm going to line up my numbers here with the side and these two numbers with the bottom, just so I can get it straight. And I'm going to set it down and just hold it there and let the ink sink in. But you can see now the month that I have right there. And looky there. So now I have all of May. Then I'm going to use just a little bit darker color. I'm going to come in, and I have it's Sunday through Saturday. There's a Monday through Saturday and Sunday, or a Sunday through Saturday, and I like that one better, probably because where I'm from. But anyway, and I'm going to just lay that as straight as I can above those numbers, pretty close. And there you go. And then, so I remember that it's May, I'm going to take the little stamp here. And that was one of the things that I really liked about this stamp set. It has all the months of the year. So if you do scrapbooking or calendar making or anything like that, you have all the months of the year. And I love the font that they used for that too. So see how easy that was to make a calendar? Now May is really easy, but let's go ahead and turn this around. Okay, and then we're gonna do a June, because a June's just a little bit trickier. Let me get my chamois here and clean my stamp. Where did my chamois go? I like to cut my chamois in half and keep it in a Ziploc baggie, and then that way if I go someplace or like this, if I have it's easier, I think, to handle. So I keep one in a stamp case and a full chamois, and then a half chamois in a little plastic bag like this. It's just a tip for your chamois. Okay. So now we'll practice, make sure, okay, my stamp is clean. I'm going to put this away just so I don't get my hand in it. But now let me turn my calendar. Oh no, I have it on June. Yes, I do. And so on June, now I have to think a little bit. The days, Saturdays are the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. So if you look at your stamp, I said the 5th and the 12th. So the 5th is way over here, and the 12th and the 19th and the 26th, but I'm going to stamp those or line those up on my ink pad, the 5th, the 12th, make sure I have them in the right spot, and ink that up, right? But now June does not have the 31st. So you could either mask it off before, but I found these little in my junk drawer, just colored labels. They're 1/4 inch in diameter, and these work really well just to mask off that 31. So let me ink it up one more time just to make sure my stamp is nice and inked. And I'm looking again for the 5th right here. And then I'm going to just take that little sticker and put it on the 31st, because we don't want that to ink on or stamp on our paper. And then I'm going to line those numbers again, the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th, so it's straight with my paper, and set that down. Oops, I'm really low. And it looks like this. Let's see how it worked. Yep, so there's my June calendar, and I hope you can see it. Let's try to get some light here on that macaron ink. But there's the perfect dates for June, and you notice that the 31st was covered up, and so it didn't stamp when I placed it on my paper. Cool, right? So this is just the coolest stamp ever. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I'm going to stamp it in a little bit darker color. Like I said, this is Night and Navy, and put those days of the week above my numbers. Just like that. And then there's a little June stamp, so I'm going to ink that up in that mint macaron and just stamp that above it like that. So let's go back to the make, because I want to go ahead and use this calendar and make a card. It's my daughter's birthday on the 22nd, and so I'm going to send her this card. So I'm going to take another stamp from that stamp set, and it's this little heart. And I don't think, nope. And while I'm at it, let me show you the new way Stampin' Up! Stores their photopolymer stamps. They've now included the pictures of the stamp on the background, so you stick your photopolymers right onto the case, just like that, okay? And then I'm gonna take this little heart, I'm gonna ink it up in some polished pink. Sadie's birthday's on the 22nd, so I'm gonna go ahead and just stamp that heart right over the 22nd, just like that. Set all this aside so I don't get all icky. And then I'm going to just take my paper trimmer. And if you go to my blog, you can see all the measurements of my paper. And I think I put on my blog that this piece of paper is 3.5 by 2 3/4, which seems to work, but this time I'm going to make it just a little bit shorter so it's even at the top and the bottom. And it really depends how far you stamp your days of the month from the numbers and the month from the days, and depends how big you stamp it, but I think that looks pretty good. So it might not be exactly 3.5, but you can decide that when you make your card how long you want this one. And I just so you know, when you cut your paper, I would cut it the 2 3/4 and leave it long, and then cut it down to size after you've stamped it. So I'm going to use some Designer Series paper, and I'm going to use this piece right here. And if you'll notice, it's really a big part, or I mean, it's a big piece of designer paper that looks like this. And I really like these colors, and I wanted it just for a background, and this one didn't have very many flowers on it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this, not as a floral piece, but just as a background piece, like I said, for Sadie's card. And then I have a piece of mint macaron. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've gone ahead and scored it at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. And that way, when we fold it, let me get the bone folder. I'm going to open it up and then fold on this score line back to the inside, and then that's how we're going to have our easel card right here. I also have a piece of basic white. Now this is just your normal layer, 5 1/4 by 4, and then I want to stamp happy birthday on that, so I'm gonna bring in this little stamp right here. I just, like I said, love the font of these, and I'm gonna stamp a little happy birthday in, I think I'm gonna go with the darker, with that Night and Navy. and just stamp that right about there. And I missed my B. I should have my pierce mat, but let me see if I can just stamp and get that little B on there. There, much better. Okay. I'm going to turn this over and go ahead and put it onto the inside of my card. And then we're ready to assemble everything else. And now really the main purpose of this video was to show you how to use the Days to Remember stamp set. So I've already done all the die cutting and everything, so the rest of the card should go really quick. Now I want to put this piece right here so that when my easel stands up, and I want to make sure it only sticks to this here. So I'm going to just take a little bit of adhesive here toward that fold, or by the fold I should say, and then on the bottom here I'm going to put adhesive here and then a little bit in the middle. And remember, we're avoiding, let me get in the camera, we're avoiding this part because we don't want that to stick to this, we want it to stand up. Hope that makes sense. And then I'm going to just center this nicely on my card front so it looks like that. And now look, we do have it so that it will stand up and be an easel card. Okay, one more stamping we have to do is I have a little tiny piece here of basic white. This is, and I hope I got my measurements in my head right, 5 1/8 by 1 7/8. And there again, in that Night of Navy, I'm going to stamp from the stamp set this A Day to Remember. So I'm going to ink that up, and it fits really nice on this little piece of cardstock here. Just a day to remember. I do love the font. It's very user-friendly. It just stamps really nice, this stamp set. Okay, so then from the let me find it here. These are called the scallop contour dies. They look like this. I just loved these scallop dies. They also coordinate with the colored contour stamp set. This is a new bundle from the annual catalog, but I took 2 of these shapes here and I cut them out in the mint macaron so they look like this. And then, oops, I put my calendar. I'm going to take my calendar, a little bit of adhesive on the back, and just place that right here, centered in the middle, top to bottom, and left to right, like that. Then this little piece here that I stamped, this is the, I believe this is the second largest, and this is the smallest of those dies, the contour dies, and lay them down just like that. Now, this one I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. Well, in fact, I'm going to pop them both up on dimensionals. And I'm going to put 3 dimensionals along the center to make sure that this one doesn't move, because this is what's going to hold our easel part of our card up. So I'm going to put quite a few dimensionals on that little piece. This one here, I'm going to just lay here right in the center. And I really like, now this designer series paper said it was pool party, but to me these little colors here that show the pool party of the flower hardly shows, but I thought mint macaron went really well with this one. So that's why I chose the coordinating color was from the designer series paper. And then on this one, I'm going to hold my easel up about where I want it, and then just put this here, hopefully straight. Yep, about like that. And that's what's going to hold our easel card. And then she opens it up and it says happy birthday. So let's decorate this a little bit. In advance, like I said, I've taken, this is the new love of my life, I'm going to call it. This is the Pierce Bloom dies. Now it's just a bunch of stitched flowers and leaves. It has a coordinating stamp set, the In Bloom stamp set. Now, so you know about this one, this is in the mini catalog right now, and it's available as a bundle. And if you know Stampin' Up, you know when they say bundle, that means you save 10% when you buy the 2 together. And it is carried over to the annual catalog, but in the annual catalog, it is not a bundle. So if you want this bundle and you want to save 10%, you need to buy it before the mini catalog ends, before the end of June. Just as a no. So I've cut a bunch of these little flowers in that new polished pink and the bumblebee. They're 2 in colors. And I'm going to decorate the card now, Sadie's card, with some flowers. I'm going to take, I think this one's, ooh, that one's pretty though, but I like the smaller one, I think. Nope, I think I'm going to go with the bigger one. Look at this one though. Yeah, let's put that one on there. Like this. Just around those. And then just a little bit of liquid glue in the center here. There we go. I'm going to add one of these little, well, it's not really a circle. I'm going to call it insides. And look how cute that is. And then down here, and I'm going to just use a glue dot for this one. I probably could have used a glue dot for the inside of the pink flower, but it worked. Let's take one of these little flowers and maybe set it down here. And then another one of these flowers. And I'm going to put it right here on the corner of the little part that holds up my flame. Now let's put a couple little flowers, and maybe we'll use these little, they kind of, to me, these look like, what are those fish called? Starfish. That's what they remind me of, but let's put a couple of those here on the inside of our card. And I just put a little bit of glue on there, and I'm going to just set my flower, hold that down, and then I need a little pink one. So let's maybe this little pink one. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll put him right there and give it a little bit of color. Oh, that didn't work, did it? There we go. Now he's stuck to the card, not my finger. So far so good. I think that's a really cute card, but let's go ahead and bring in, I thought this holiday rhinestone basic jewels are going to be perfect. They're about the right colors that my card is. So I'm going to take some of this little blue one and put it right there. Look how that brings the blue in from the other. And I don't normally like to put bling on the inside of my card, but this one, they need some here too. So I'm going to take a little bit maybe of this yellow one and put it on the pink here. And then we need to bring in some of that blue. So I'm going to take an itty bitty blue one and put it in here. And put this one there and there. Now I think my card, get rid of all this stuff, is complete. So there you go. So then when she gets her card, she can just stand it up on her desk and it can sit and look at her all year long and tell her how special that my daughter Sadie is to me. So I hope you'll give this stamp set, this Days to Remember stamp set, a try and make some calendar cards like I did. I think it'd work great for retirement, for anniversaries, for birthdays, for births of a baby. I mean, just all kinds of announcements. I think it would be really cute card or really cute stamp set to use on so many different cards. So thanks for watching all the way to the end. And before you go, I just want to remind you that Paper Pumpkin is starting today is $5. So if you're interested in a paper pumpkin kit, it's an easy way to do some paper crafting. First time subscribers can get a paper pumpkin kit for $5 while supplies last. So you got to get in there and subscribe today. Be sure and use the the code HOMERUN0521 to get the deal. And then if you're interested in some more cards and an easy way I do all the work, there is my Stamp a Greeting class. Let me show you the cards to those. They look like this. My Stamp a Greeting class is 8 cards, 2 each of the 4 different designs. This one's a cute pop-up card. I send you all the card packets that you need. That includes the cardstock, the embellishments, and the cardstock ribbon and the ribbon. And then I send you a printout that has a picture of all the cards and all the measurements in case you want to make the cards again, and then a link so you can make the cards at your own, a link to a video that I show you how to make the card, and you can make the cards at your own leisure. The cost of my stamp a greeting is $25, which includes shipping, and you can order while supplies last through May 15th, and then I'll get the packets out and the video May 17th. So like I said, that's a great deal. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.